So I just got off the phone, scratchy call with the pharmacist who's on their third attempt for the Naplex exam. I'm going to talk to you in the way that I wish somebody would have talked to me when I failed the Naplex exam. I failed the Naplex exam twice. I lost my job. I went broke chasing a timeline that I thought defined my worth. I watched classmates move on while I felt stuck in a place. And yet, I still became the pharmacist I knew I was meant to be. Today, today I help other pharmacists do the same thing. So if you have failed this exam, the Naplex, I want you to hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. Get back up. But don't just try again. Get a new study system and try again. Because this isn't about effort. It's about conversion. Most people assume that failing means you didn't study enough. You didn't try hard enough. You weren't focused enough. Their narrative is, I say that narrative is exhausting and is wrong. The real reason for most repeat test takers is not their intelligence. It's not discipline. It's not potential. It's literally the absence of the right study system. Not a pile of resources from this text prep company and this Naplex prep company. Not more videos, not more quiz banks, not more colored cutter binders. It's literally a system, a study system that actually aligns with how you learn. The one that rebuilds strong study habits instead of reinforcing panic-driven cramming. The one that helps you retain information long term and retrieve it under pressure. The one that teaches you how to think clinically when the question is layered, ambiguous, and time sensitive. Because the Naplex doesn't reward memorization. It does not. It does not reward memorization alone. It rewards pharmacist level thinking. And I know, I know you've been working. I know you have. You bought this prep company's book. You watched the YouTube videos. You highlighted the chapters. You took the practice exam. You took the pre-Naplex. You reset your study. You reset your test date. You tried again and again. And you studied harder. You did. But your effort isn't converting. It's not converting. You're educated, but you're not executing. Big difference. You're knowledgeable, but you're not demonstrating it under pressure. You're trying, but you're not getting paid. And that's the painful part of it all. To keep trying and keep doing and don't see a result. You didn't go to pharmacy school to become a professional studier. You went to practice, to counsel patients, to help patients, to make clinical decisions, to earn a salary that reflects your training. Am I right, somebody? Instead, you're stuck in this uncomfortable middle space, the almost registered pharmacist space. That phrase alone carries weight, right? Almost registered, almost practicing, almost earning the most money you ever made in your life, almost moving forward with your career. See, that's the fear. That's the fear that creeps in on you when you fail more than once. The question is, you ask yourself, what if this becomes permanent? What if I'm always almost? What if every introduction comes with an explanation? Hi, what I'm saying. Hi, I'm such and such. I'm a pharmacist, but I haven't paid. No, 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 no. See, that fear doesn't just affect your study sessions. It's affecting your confidence. Your confidence, and that confidence is everything on this exam. regaining your confidence in your clinical thinking. It's not about just saying affirmations. It's not about putting on some motivational music. It's about rebuilding your trust in your decision-making process. It's about walking through patient cases and knowing why you chose that answer. It's about understanding the mechanisms and contraindications and labs and dose adjustments and be able to apply them without freezing. That's that confidence. And when you have failed this exam, when you have failed the Naplex before, you don't just question the content, you question yourself. You start second guessing your instincts. Am I right, somebody? You change your answers. Initially you got it right, but then you start changing. When you see that select all apply question, you go into strict panic mode. You go blank even on material you reviewed the night before. Even on the stuff that you know that's easy. That's not a knowledge problem. That's a system and performance problem. You trained for pharmacy school. You were trained to pass courses, to complete rotations, to write care plans, and to graduate. You were not trained to strategically prepare for the Naplex as a high stakes performance exam. You were not trained strategically to prepare for that. And that's the different skill set. You earned the PharmD. You have earned it. Congratulations, Doc. Now you must build the execution skills that is required to become that RPH. And here's the truth. Staying in this cycle is more expensive than changing it. It's costing your not only money, your confidence, it's costing your time, it's costing your identity. And at some point, you have to decide that you're done being this professional studier. You have to decide that. You don't just want to pass the Naplex. You want closure. You want clarity. You want your license number. You want to introduce yourself without any hesitation. And if I'm on your road, just say I'm on your road. That's why I am inviting you to this March 4th, to my March 4th live webinar. This is where we're going to address the real gap. Why your current strategy isn't converting your education into licensure. How you're going to rebuild a study system that aligns with your learning style. How you're going to strengthen your clinical reasoning under pressure. How you're going to protect your mindset so anxiety does not sabotage your performance. If you're tired of being the almost, if you're ready to stop recycling the same approach, expecting a different outcome, then this is your moment to shift. Doc, this is your moment to shift. You failed the Naplex. That's a fact. It's a hard fact, but that's a fact, a hard truth. But it's not your identity. It is not. Now is the time to get back up with a new system. Register for the March 4th webinar at laquitajohnson.com/March4th. Again, you have earned a degree. You've earned this degree. Now, what I want you to do is secure this license. What I want you to do is to have this license number attached to your name. All right? Until next time. Remember that pharmacy is only if you are. Now go be great, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.